Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azabi here, back again with Kuroko no Basket Season 2. We are on episode 10. In the last episode, I hated Kurosaki Daichi, I hate the referees, I just fucking hate. I'm not in a good mood. And it doesn't help that, like, my nose has been annoying me all fucking day. Like, it's like I really want to sneeze, and it never fucking happens. It's really annoying. I don't know if, like, I'm on the verge of getting a cold or what. I feel like I must be, you know, because my fucking, honestly, it's been a horrible day, and to top it off, I need to witness these cunts that can't play basketball. I fucking despise them. So yeah, but other than that, on a positive note, Kiyoshi is not taking their shit. He's not fucking taking it, right? He will not go down. He is a fucking, you know, he calls himself a shield. He's doing exactly that job. He's shielding the other series members from physical torment and also mental as well, because, you know, he's actually keeping the rest of the guys calm while he ends up taking all the punishment and applying all the pressure on himself. And again, it's why he is the best character. Fucking love Kiyoshi. So yeah, let's carry this on. Let's just get through this game. Let's just get through it so that at the very end, Kiyoshi can look back at those absolute tossers, right, and give them like that big smug face and say, "Take that, you utter cunt." Alright, but yeah, nothing else to really talk about. So if you do want to go watch the reaction, link is in the description below. There is also the link to the full length if you want to watch it in full and not just a 10-minute version. Then the offer is there for you. But yeah, nothing else to really talk about. We're going to get in episode 10, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 10. Right, I feel a bit better after that episode, I feel like, because I like how everything was set up pretty early on in the episode, especially that you know, that bathroom scene where Aomine just came in and just didn't even, like, he didn't even need to back down from Hanamiya in any way whatsoever, just as Aomine does, like just monotone. You know what I mean? His face never changed. He was just like, "Mate, you're gonna lose. you've made Kuroko angry." So you know what I mean? That's that. But I love it because it in a way it does give you that sort of sense of you know, like there's still that, I guess, that ally relationship there. You know what I mean? That, like, even the likes of Aomine, who doesn't really give a fuck about, or at least doesn't on the surface put himself out there and act like he cares, but I really think that it really shows that somewhat, like, you know, a team like Kurosaki Daichi, that even Aomine is just like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Aomine is just like, yeah, he knows. Aomine knows, man. You know, he never once was like shocked at anything that really happened. But yeah, it was just really cool, you know what I mean? And just seeing the look on their faces when they just realise that they can't actually do anything, you know what I mean? When they see themselves like actually lose, it's just fucking nice to see. So yeah, I mean, Hanamiya is a baby, really, isn't he? That's what he is. He doesn't get his way, so he throws tantrums. I mean, for someone who's supposedly a genius, I mean, I'll not say supposedly, right? Because clearly, like, okay, he is, judging by his IQ and everything like that. But for somebody who is a genius in, like, that way inclined, also being just a baby, clearly not emotionally, like, mature. So, you know, like, that's just, you know what that is? That's a waste. That's what that is. That's a waste of a person. A waste of a human being. That's exactly what that is. Because he has this, you know, he's been given this fucking gift of having, you know, that genius status of having an IQ that is that big. And he's wasting it on putting other people down as opposed to actually using it, you know, to better himself and others around him. Hanamiya is literally like the living embodiment of a waste that should not be there. Like, he just should not exist. Prick. Also when they were in the changing rooms, Kagami obviously getting really pissed, kicking that bench over. I get what they mean is like, alright, don't take anger out on objects, alright? But I guess in one sort of facet of that though, like that I think you have to take positive out of, is the fact that Kagami is releasing his anger outside of the game and not on the court, which is better, right? So you got to take it from that way as well. Well, I did love the fact of like Kagami being like, I don't know how you remain so calm, and then looks over at Kuroko and he's just definitely not calm and he's just pissed off. You know what I mean? It's like everything with Kuroko is very slight. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, even if you want to wordplay, it's sleight of hand, I suppose, in a way, as and sleight of. I love his subtle disappearances that you see, like in the animation, like where like if he's off in the background and he just disappears behind. You know what I mean? I love the little because they're so subtle, but they're there. You know what I mean? Which I just really like. And then even obviously his emotions that are very slight when they come out, they're not as animated as other people, but because he rarely shows it, it means that much more when Kuroko's pissed off. You know what I mean? And even Aomine knowing that, they made a mistake when they made Kuroko angry because they've basically lost the game at that point. It's just great. And I love how that translated into what happened towards the end of the episode, where Kuroko was like, alright, I'm going for the individual sort of play. Not something that they have worked on or their attacking patterns or anything like that, but Kuroko is literally deciding in the moment who's going to pass to, who's open. And the likes of Kagami and anybody else receiving the ball just has to be ready to receive it, because they don't know when it's coming or where it's coming. So he's basically fooling his teammates, and if he can fool his teammates, then he's definitely fooling the opposing team, and they just can't get anywhere near him. You know what I mean? It's just like, you can be a genius all you want and like have all of these things like in your head of, all right, this is how they play, but if the team themselves don't know how they're going to play, then you can't predict anything like that. It's sort of similar with Momoi as well, like, because she's very research based. Like, a lot of the time, to be able to predict what, what they are going to do based upon what they have been, learning. So if they're trying to like advance their game to, counteract Toho, for example, like, they've already researched what the likely sort of advancement in their game is. But when you've got Kuroko that doesn't even know what he's it's just like, because everything that he does being with the misdirection or anything like that, they know that that's what he does, right? They know that that is what he does, but it's like he fools everybody, not just like I don't even know. I guess Midorima was right. Like, we really don't know what Kuroko thinks about. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going on in his head. And it's interesting to know, like, if Kuroko even knows at times, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't... I'm not sure he expected to go into this game and then start getting really pissed off. Or, like, at the start of this game, he ever thought that he would have to get to a point where he had to play, like, individually at a point, you know what I mean? Because Kuroko's always been about that team play and everything like that. So, yeah, but... Oh, so one of the guys apparently had figured out how the vanishing drive works, and that it must be something to do with blinking, and it makes total sense that that's what it is. But even so, Kuroko still made it past them. And apparently it wasn't blinking. And Kuroko never even stated what it was when that guy asked. Like, what? So it isn't blinking then? He never stated no, he never stated yes. So I just like that he never had to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, anything back, and it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of up in the air what it truly is and how he actually does do it. But I'm beginning to think there's a reason why they call it unstoppable. Although I do think that at one point there is going to be a point in the show where somebody stops it and it'll be a big deal. But we'll have to wait for that. So they had this Kentaro guy that came off the bench. Apparently his IQ is very high as well, not as high as Hanamiya's, who's kind of being used as sort of like a support type just mainly for Hanamiya, because Hanamiya knows which, they're passing and attacking patterns, right? So obviously this, before Kuroko obviously goes individual and everything like that. But, Kentaro basically took away half of the court. You know what I mean? And basically forced Azuki to pass into a certain area of the court that Hanamiya is already there guarding, kind of thing, So yeah, and they call that their trap or their web or whatever it is, but I'm not gonna praise it, because the fact that they even need to, the fact of what they have to do in order to set that trap up, just makes me think you don't deserve credit for anything. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you have to really injure people and everything like that, and try and get them angry and everything just to get that to work. You can go get fucked. So yeah, but yeah, that Kagami catch, man, that was insane. He must have turned around and because I think he was facing towards Kuroko, right? The basket was behind him, and I think Kagami moved around. He moved around clockwise, I think, and grabbed it whilst he was running, almost like he was like a relay race when you're running and you're obviously holding your hand back to grab the baton. I think he moved around, started running, and literally caught the ball. You know what I mean? It was an insane catch, man. Really cool. I mean, I feel like if anyone is obviously going to catch those passes, it's going to be Kagami anyway, because Kagami relies obviously a lot on instinct, I feel like, anyway, so it kind of just works out well in his favour. So I don't know if we'd be seeing it from, getting it passed off to other people as much, but, it's just really, really cool. So yeah, other than that, Tepe is benched. It makes sense. I mean, he's given enough, I think, for this game, and now, obviously, in the last quarter, the original team, the OG team that was in Season 1 before Kiyoshi turned up, is back on the court. Obviously, Mitobe coming in for the center, so I'm excited to see if Mitobe can step up and do something, insane. Would be nice, because I don't think Mitobe has actually had that yet. I mean, he's had the hook shot when we were like, oh shit, that came out of nowhere, but especially for a center, so obviously the inside is tough for, it's tough for a center in this game, being up against Kurosaki Daiichi, so, you know what I mean, Mitobe, I think he can step up, you know what I mean, because Mitobe does give off that big brother feel as well. I mean, we did see that one scene where it was him and a bunch of his family, you know what I mean, he was one of the oldest, and helping all of his younger brothers and sisters out, so, that, the center position does fit Mitobe a lot, and Hyuga needs to step up. I'm not allowing any more fucking misses from you, Hyuga. I'm not happy with Hyuga. How he missed he hasn't taken a single shot. You know what I mean? Watching Kiyoshi do all of the having to jump up for the rebound all the time that Hyuga misses and stuff like that. It's Hyuga, you talked up a big game in that hospital room. You need to prove it here. You know what I mean? God. I get that, it's affecting them mentally and everything like that, but, I mean, Hyuga's supposed to be our captain. He's supposed to drag us through this, you know what I mean? That's the point of a captain. Daiichi and Haikyuu would have done it, so Hyuga, it's now up to you. You need to really come and step up in this last quarter. So we'll see what happens anyway next week. But that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. If you do want to get access to next week's episodes, so that is episode 11 and 12, then you can do by becoming an early access tier patron over on my Patreon. And it's for $5 a month, and it gets you shows a week early. There's also the full-length tier if you want to watch any of my reactions in full and not just the 10-minute version. And then there is the exclusive tier that gives you access to movie reactions when I start doing them as well. Okay, so go over there, have a look, see what they offer. There's also a link in the Discord, in the description to the Discord if you want to get over there as well. But that is all I've got, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.